Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm doing shit. Hey, I'm Nathan, and we are going to rebuild a KayFUN 3.1 today.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that wants to know how things are done. So I'll be asking those questions while Nathan is doing things. So what is that?
This is a KayFUN 3.1. It's a full-size, rebuildable tank atomizer. Unlike other tanks, it doesn't need a special wick, a stainless steel wick, but it holds a lot more liquid than than most drippers. So drippers, as you've seen in previous videos of me, would have a small amount of liquid that you would drip onto it at a time, and then it runs out after 4 or 5 good hits. You get plenty of vapor, it tastes great. This takes that same model and adds storage to it. So let's take her apart. It comes apart in a lot of different places here, and I'm just going to shed a whole lot of liquid. Don't worry, I'm not making a mess. Yep, I made a mess.
Yeah, we lied about that. So,
on the inside of this, the inside part here.
Is there a way to avoid making that mess if I wanted to, do that?
Yeah, don't pull it apart so fast.
Do I want to do this over like a table or?
Table, paper towels, whatever. I mean, e-liquid ain't that messy, but it is a little messy. So
we like it messy here.
Like it messy. So here you can see my coil and my wicking material. In this case, nice, rich, organic cotton. Not very expensive. You can buy it from Michael's or CVS. Make sure you get the organic stuff, the non-bleached, otherwise it tastes really funny. So you'll see I pull my wicking out, and this is trash. We're gonna get rid of this. This is no more. This is my coil. This is the part that actually heats up. This little guy right here. I'm gonna pull that off right now.
What are we using to?
Just a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. Got a couple of bolts right here. A couple of screws. Make a couple of these screws loose. I'm just gonna work my wiring right off here. This is Kanthal wire, standard Kanthal.
Where can I buy Kanthal wire?
Smokeless.
Like
the internet.
Smokeless smoking.
Smokeless smoking. We'll give it to you here. I'll stretch it out a little bit. Very springy.
Look at that, pretty doing.
Well, now it's no more, because we decided to rebuild this. So I'm going to make a brand new one of those. Now you can see the deck is empty. You've got your positive and negative screws. I'm going to wrap my wire between those, and in the center there, that is your airflow. That's where the air actually comes out of. So here's my now empty deck. We can set that guy down. What we need is the Kanthal wire itself. This is what will provide the resistance and heat up. We will need something to wrap it around. In this case, we have the width of a 3 30-seconds drill bit. And I'm going to wrap this. 3 30-seconds drill bit is what I use because it's an easy width to stuff that cotton back in there. What I like to use is 28 gauge Kanthal wire. The gauge, of course, is the thickness. The higher the number, the thinner the wire. If any of you guys are piercing fanatics, you'll know what that means right away. What we want to do is give ourselves plenty of footing so that we can wrap back around those screws that you saw previously. So we're going to start probably about there. I've got that much length to it.
That's pretty sexy right there.
And what we do is we just wrap it around this. And the more times we wrap it, the higher the resistance that we have. The higher the resistance, the more area we have to heat up, the more it fights against the energy coming out of a battery pack. With e-cigarettes, high resistance.
Kind of like bondage. The tighter you wrap it, the better it is.
Kind of like that. So here we go. I'm going to wrap this 7 times. So here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, and I've got 4 now. I'm just going to kind of squish these all together because you want them nice and close. You want them to actually be touching when it heats up. So we were at 4. Here comes 5, 6, and 7 times around.
And 7 is the magic number.
7 is the magic number for what I'm going for. I'm going for about 1.5 ohms of resistance.
Viva la resistance.
Yes, the resistance is very much alive.
Wonderful.
So not only is it not futile, but it is the law. So now you can see I've got the actual wire there. It's all kind of loose. And I'm going to squish her together. You Use my fingernails to get in real tight there and squish her in. It's not dirty at all.
There you go. I want to
Just
get it all on film, baby.
Squish her in there. You want your wire to be touching because it's going to heat up from the outside in.
Okay.
So here's your wire, and I've got it set up so that it's kind of at an angle like that. And no, it's not creepy at all. We swear. And what I'm going to do now is I've got my deck here, and I need to touch this one and this one. We want to touch the two wires together on different ends of this guy. And in doing so, I'm also holding on to it. I'm leaving my drill bit in there so that no matter how much I pull on this, no matter how much I pull on this, I've got plenty of form left in my coil. So this is why I left myself a lot of room. I can just kind of curve it around here and come back by the screw. Keeping it kind of tight because it is going to wrap down around the actual screw itself. And leaving my drill in there, we're going to wrap this one around now. So we've got one pulled straight out, and now we're going to wrap the other side. Now this one I have a little bit less room, but by now I'm obviously professional. I've already done it once, so you want to make sure you go underneath the coil, wrap it tight around the screw, and we're going to get it around the back side here. At this point, my fingers are kind of slippery, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab this. Little tweezers, a little wrench.
So if I'm a noob at this, there's a chance that my fingers are going to be all like lubed?
Yeah, your fingers actually probably will. I'm a pro at this, and my fingers are all lubed. So your fingers are going to be a little bit slippery. Feel free to grab tools to help you make those kind of adjustments.
So what are you doing right now?
What I'm doing is I'm grabbing it, and I'm just kind of twisting around the deck to pull it nice and tight onto those screws. Got it around the screws. We can now go ahead and take a screwdriver and put them down. Gonna put Old Yeller down.
Poor Yeller.
No, Ma, I'll do it.
Clearly you are doing it. Look at that.
I have, this screwdriver is actually going to work better. That one was a little bit small. This one's a little bit bigger.
Right tool, right job, folks.
And push it down a little bit and actually get down where I am. Obviously make things difficult, give me a real challenge. So we're putting both of these screws down all the way.
In there, get it.
Get it.
Get it. So when you pull that little drill bit out of there, is that going to completely widen up your coil?
So I want to give myself as little room between the actual coil and the airflow itself as I can. So I'm just kind of using this to pull her in nice and tight. Like I said, I leave the drill bit in there so that no matter how much pulling I do, it stays in a nice coiled fashion like it was. And then we screw the bolts back down.
These videos are not safe for work, by the way, unless your work is, well, as awesome as...
Yeah, if your work's cool with this kind of thing, I mean, that's always the thing. Now I've got this in here, I can go ahead and make sure my, my coil's nice and aligned. I can pull this out. And we'll grab a crippers, pull it and trim off those feet so we don't have that long wire hanging off. Trim off the feet.
Click.
The click means you're doing it right. Now I've got a little bit sticking out here, so I want to go ahead and fan that inwards.
Right, hang on, let me just zoom in there, because let's give the people what they want, the dirty close-ups. Look at that. All right, do your thing.
Right here where my point is, I've got a little bit of Kanthal sticking out. And that can prove to be sharp and annoying. Not necessarily fatal, but definitely really annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the screwdriver to push it in towards the screw. Kind of wrap it around. And now I've got them both pushed in. If I run my fingers across it, I can't feel the Kanthal wire sticking out. It's no danger to cutting me, because cutting is bad. Don't do it.
That's a gothic, unless you're a gothic kid.
Even then, honestly, just don't.
Just don't cut yourself.
Just don't do it. So now what I want to do is I've got my device here. We're going to screw it onto the device.
What kind of device is that?
This is a ProVary.
What does that mean?
ProVary is an American-made device made by ProVape is the company. Herald is probably one of the best in regulated device designs. Regulated means it's got a microchip in it, means it can do a bunch of diagnostics. The other kind of devices are known as mech mods, where there are no electronics, it's just mechanical stuff, and it makes all the right connections and releases the energy.
That means we just need to do a video about that later.
Oh, we will.
Because it's amazing. Look at that.
So
It's doing stuff. What are you doing now?
What I'm doing is, well, first I want to open up my settings and I want to check the resistance on this guy. I've got 1.2 ohms of resistance. And what I can do now is heat it up. See, it gets nice and bright there. And what I'm going to do when I'm heating this up is I'm actually going to use this guy, squish her in there. Squish it nice and tight. And heat it up again. See that coil get nice and bright. And squish it back down. And I'm going to do this a couple of times so I get my coil looking really tight in there. Because you want to have it as close as you can. You want it to touch.
You want it to touch?
Yeah, you want all the coils to touch each other. Heats up faster. So what I'm doing is, as soon as it cools down, I just kind of go in there and hit it again. So it cools down, I go in and pinch her in. And that makes our coil look really tight.
That's pretty, it's pretty amazing right there.
Gets nice and warm. What you're looking for is that nice even heating from the inside out. Heats up quickly, heats up evenly, and cools off evenly. And there we have a coil. So now we want to find something with which we saturate our liquid onto.
You can see over there that Angie just crawled underneath.
That's how much she cares.
It was pretty adorable, but it didn't work because you totally got.
That's how much she cares, though. She tried.
Nerfed on right there.
So now I've got a cotton ball. Organic cotton probably tastes better. Non-organic cotton holds onto that cottony flavor. I know it sounds really hippie, man. Get the organic stuff, but it's true.
That Angie just crawled under your chair. Army crawled even.
She's a pro. So now we've got
what is this? This is cotton?
This is cotton. Tore a little bit off here.
Where can I buy said cotton?
Michael's, probably for the best organic stuff. You can buy some at CVS. Just realize they've got organic and non-organic.
Does Smokeless Smoking sell this on their website?
We'll usually just give you some if you come into one of our rebuildable seminars.
That's pretty epic. That's pretty kind of those folks.
They are pretty cool. I'm glad I work for them.
Those folks at Smokeless Smoking.
So now I'm taking and I'm pushing the cotton into the coil and across. And this is what's known as a mustache wick.
Why? Oh, I see your tactics.
Because it looks like a mustache.
Dare you to press that little button while it's under.
I will not, sir. Because then I will have nothing but a singed mustache. So here I'm going to be fanning it out. What we want to do is there's little leads. There are little leads on the inside of your KayFUN that the liquid actually gets drawn up into. These leads here. And these leads on either side are what the liquid goes up and around to, so we're going to draw our wicking down to it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to kind of unfurl and fan out.
Unfurl. I like that. Fan out. That's what I like in a good wick. A little unfurling.
Now, I don't need this much wicking on this guy, so I can go ahead and take a scissors, and I'll go out a little ways from the deck and just snip it.
That was pretty nifty right there.
Mm-hmm. Go from the deck, go out a little bit, snip it.
Don't die on me.
I will not. They're scissors. They are not a gun.
Don't run with them.
Scissors don't kill people.
Scissors don't get... Well, neither do guns, technically. I mean...
No, the bullets do. The bullets are what kill you.
Yeah, we can sell guns, just not the bullets.
The bullets are what you need a license for.
Congress should be on this.
So now I'm drawing, I'm just kind of folding the wicking over to those leads. The leads being, of course, where the liquid's going to come up. So we just want to draw the wicking over to those leads. And now that we've got that, we can go ahead and take that chimney part. Take the chimney part and put it back together. We'll back up, and we'll go forward, back up, and go forward a little bit. What I'm doing now is I'm just aligning the threads. They can be a little annoying to get to. So, screw it on there. And down on the inside, you can see it looks nice and wrapped up. You got the 2 bolts, and you've got your wicking, and the wicking, of course, goes between the 2 leads, which are going to be, as you can see on the outside, here and here, and that's where the wicking lines up to.
That looks like a sexy build.
So far, yes. So far, so good. Now I've got my liquid. I've got 503 sarsaparilla. I only use about 5 milligram strength because you don't need very much. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pre-saturate a little bit of liquid onto these wicks.
I like watching you work. It's like watching a doctor kill his patient, you know, happily.
I'm good at it. So I am just soaking liquid onto here because the alternative would be to put this thing all together with it dry and then try to prime it.
No one likes dry interception.
Basically, if I put this together all dry, then I have to like pull on it, like, and inhale a bunch of liquid to the wicking, which is annoying when you can't just see what you're doing. With smaller models, it's just fine. With this guy,
just don't do it dry. That should just be the easy tactic there. It's dry. If it's dry, you just don't hit it if it's dry.
If it's dry, you're awry.
Lube it up.
So now that we've got plenty of liquid saturated onto those wicks, I can go ahead and put my chimney back together. And we're going to double check that resistance again. 1.3, and that's about where I like it. 1.3 up to like 1.5 on this guy. You run it at like 4 volts. You got a good hit without getting too hot, without burning up too much. Now you take this top part, put this guy back together.
So now, how do I fill it?
Filling it is kind of fun, and by fun I mean not very. On these ones, you've got an outside fill screw. This part. You've got your airflow controls, the actual screw, and then the air inlet, and then you've got right here is your air, is where you fill it from. So we're going to hold it upside down. You're going to see me take a cutesy little screwdriver here. This comes in the KayFUN kit, of course. We're going to unscrew that airflow control.
This is a daily occurrence?
For me, yes. Because I go through about 4 mils of liquid in a day, I will drain this tank. And then have to refill it, of course. So now we can, of course, take our liquid and we're going to put it just right in there, like that. It's going to fit right on the inside of that.
Jam it in there.
Just jamming it. But of course, this can be a little bit messy, so what I want to grab is a wee bit of paper towel.
Where can I get said?
You can get paper towels at any convenience or grocery store. Honestly, you don't need organic for paper towels.
Actually, we're going to be hippie compliant. So organic towels.
Only
organic.
Only, or you're doing it wrong.
A non-organic towel. I suppose there is.
Well, I mean, all of it's
not a non-organic paper towel. That shit doesn't exist. If it does, I just made myself look stupid on YouTube.
Oh no, you would be the only one. So you can see I'm filling. You can see I'm filling the actual tank full of liquid. You may be able to hear a little clicky noise. That's the air escaping as it fills.
Oh.
So she's nice and full.
Nice,
so full
nice
that it's dripping out the top.
I just felt I had to say that because someone on YouTube will comment on your fingernails.
Someone will. I actually pushed this too far because Sean was distracting me. So
sorry.
it's nice and full on the inside of this tank. A little bit messy after the fill. If you push it too far like I just did, I want to make sure. I like my tanks nice and full because then you don't have to refill it as often. Now we can go ahead and take that same fill screw, which is tiny. Please don't lose it. Put it back into place. Tonight, oh.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's okay, because it doesn't bounce too much. So it's nice because it just sits. It's at an angle, so it just kind of sits right there.
Pretty princess.
Now go ahead. And I will go ahead and screw that back in. And our tank is now extremely full.
And you don't want that super tight, or do you want it tight?
You want this one super tight because this one is holding your liquid on the inside of your tank. Now I tip it.
Like super tight, you mean like finger tight? Or
I mean, it will stop when it's all the way in.
So don't beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, don't beat the shit out of it. You're actually just going to damage your screwdriver doing that. And I mean, that's just pointless.
Yeah, don't do that because then you got to buy more stuff, and no one likes to buy more stuff.
Clean it off. Pretend like you're a DJ. Tip back on here. And I'm a little bit full, but let's give her a shot.
Look at that high definition. Look at that. You can almost smell it.
Dat HD. Plenty of vapor, tons of flavor. The organic cotton loses the cottony taste very quickly, almost surprisingly so. Non-organic cotton will keep its cottony taste for probably a good hour or two.
What did we just do, Nathan?
We just rebuilt the KayFUN.
You want to thank the people for tuning in?
I do. I do thank you for checking it out, paying attention to this long video about how to rebuild this guy. Hopefully that gives you a little insight if you ever pick one up. Numerous vape stores carry them, especially Smokeless Smoking here in Minnesota. They're great tanks. Add the storage of your favorite tank plus the flavor and the hit off of a dripping atomizer. Till next time.